Hey everyone, so we're back with another Housebang real estate talk for today. We just got one topic, and this is going to be on office buildings. And really, what struck this was I just saw an article in New York Times earlier this morning, and it was talking about how office buildings now in major cities, mostly it was talking about New York City as the prime example, but LA, Chicago, they're selling at huge discounts. And I guess we kind of saw this coming, right? I mean, everybody was saying this is get out of office buildings, get out of office buildings. People have been saying that over probably like since they shut everything down, right? And everybody went to Zoom. Businesses started kind of cutting it out. They got so used to virtual, they realized, oh, we could do everything by not paying for a specific location. It's cheaper, we make more money. A lot of times people are happier depending on the person, of course, right? Some people love working out of the office. I know I can go either way, really. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about our big example for today. It was in April, and this is according to the New York Times. In April, Yellowstone Real Estate Investments paid $185 million for 1740 Broadway in Manhattan, which is a huge office building, right? This is prime New York City office space. And Blackstone actually paid $600 million for the office tower a decade earlier. That's like, right, that's insane. That's such a huge discount. I mean, we're talking like 66 or so percent of what they paid. And that's not good news if somebody's right, super over leveraged into the office space, especially in super large office buildings like this, where there's super, maintenance incentive. It's a lot of money for them. I'm sure the taxes in New York on that building are probably like astronomical. They have to be. And apparently, according to this article and what we're seeing in other areas too, we're seeing this in other major cities like Chicago, LA. Really, and a lot of it depends too on the building itself, where it is, to how is it an iconic building, what city is it in. And I guess what can we learn from this, right? It's what are the pros and cons to this. The pros that we're seeing is that it's cheaper for office space. So if you're like a small business and you're looking to get in the office space, it's going to get cheaper. It's going to be a lot cheaper now. Maybe not a lot. It's going to start getting cheaper now for an office space in prime locations like in New York City, Chicago, or Los Angeles. It's going to get more affordable for your business to occupy a space like that and have a really iconic location, right? I think everybody, no matter, right, every small business owner, it feels like such a goal to have a location in a bustling city. There's something super cool about that. I know I always experience that as well. I think it's a super cool concept to be able to drive to a big city and work in an office. But that's generally the pros, is that if you are the business owner, you're not the one who owns the building, you're probably going to start seeing discounts on the spaces. You're going to be able to afford locations in prime areas more than before in major cities. And I think that's going to be, you're going to start seeing more companies kind of transition to that. And the cons of this situation is if you're over leveraged into the building yourself. Maybe instead of the small business owner occupying the building, you're the person who owns the whole building. And that's where you can kind of get in this challenging spot, to where you've been sitting on this property for a long time. You bought it 10 years ago. You owe this amount on it. And all of a sudden you find out there's just such less demand for it. You have to sell at a huge discount. And I don't think it's as much of a challenge if you're the one buying at these discount prices. And I guess if you're the one buying at some of these discount prices, there's still, of course, a lot of risk with that. Are people going to start going back to the office and implement more? We're able to charge a lot less because we bought it at 185 million for in this situation than 600 million. So they can charge less and still make their numbers. Are we going to be able to get people at our new rental values for that? So there's still some risk aspect, but it's definitely not as bad if you're getting in at these very low prices. And is office space coming back? Right now, as far as I know a lot of people who work virtually, but I also know a lot of people who work in the city too. I think they'll slowly come back, and it's becoming more special now that everybody's virtual. Like everybody, I think virtual is definitely a lot more convenient. Just like how I can go get a snack whenever I want. But there's a lot of people. I like being around people who are doing the same stuff, and I'm sure a lot of other people do. So it starts to become more special to have an office. And I think if you get it in a very prime location that's accessible to everybody, it could really do wonders for team morale. Right, instead of, you actually get to meet people. The person Bob, who I've been working with for the past 5 years, right? He's a real person. He's not just some guy on Zoom. And I think there's a huge plus to that. Whether businesses will do it, I guess it's really business dependent, right? Do you need a physical location? A lot of these places, they realize that they can do the same things and not have a location. They don't have to pay all these office leases, and their numbers don't change because everybody can do the same thing virtually. So I think you'll start to see businesses not implement that because they're making more money. But I think some businesses that really require that team connectivity going on, I think we'll start to see it a lot. And overall, the office market is going to start getting more affordable. And as small business owners, you're going to be able to start, entering into these nice, these bustling city areas. And sometimes that's the business exposure that your small business needs, right? I mean, even like JP Morgan, they're downtown, right? Everybody knows who they are. It doesn't really matter where they are, right? But if you're a small business, you get on a bustling street corner, people start seeing your brand, they start recognizing it, and that could be huge, and it's starting to get a bit more affordable to do that in major US cities. But I hope you enjoyed. This is just a little real estate talk for today. Of course, please, leave a comment below. I appreciate your feedback, and anything else. If you have any topic recommendations, these are going to range probably from 1 to 3 topics at most, but we're just keeping it one today. And of course, I hope you enjoy and have a great rest of your day.